I've got something I can share. Blood randomly can be seen carrying that inky little sculpture he calls Junior. Not sure if truly has any attachment to that little art project of his. But I keep seeing him recreate the thing, honestly, a bit odd to me. Dandicus doesn't believe me when I tell him, but I swear Connie's watching me in invisibility at times. I'm told it makes me simply paranoid, but I don't believe so. Scraps once asked me if I prefer dogs or cats. I answered cats as otherwise I feel like it would have been very awkward. Between us, I don't particularly like either. I prefer ponies. I appreciate someone like Tisha. She's actually very punctual, that she is cleaning very and well, she cleans very often. Maybe she isn't that punctual when you think on that fact. Haha. I hope you're aware any earnings I receive from purchases go right back to Dandicus. I work alongside him. We're associates in a way. No, I am not allowed to take tips. You know, if you really think about it, a bubble called Poppy is a bit morbid. Maybe it's just me. Have you seen the twin masks, Razzle and Dazzle? Children used to get their names mixed up, but I've heard they both really enjoy their names. Can't say I hate my own. Dyle. It really suits me. This may sound a bit silly to you, but Dyle Timesley is in fact my full name. Here's a little something to know about me. I don't like physical contact. I'd rather ask before they go and hug me and whatnot. You know who loves to hug? Goob. I honestly don't have the energy to deal with his energy sometimes. Time to spare? Well, I've got something I can share. And I'll tell you one thing for certain, that pet rock Dandicus has is fascinating. He recognizes all sorts of commands, though he doesn't just do them for anyone. I've seen him perform only certain tricks and trick for tunes he prefers. Mostly tricks to cheer up Dandicus from what I've observed. Oh, let me tell you about Flutter. She's lovely truly, but I can't help but wonder how far she could truly fly. Think about it. She can fly for so long, but how high up could she reach? Could she perhaps pass the clouds? I can only wonder. You know, the circus bunch, or whatever they call themselves. I wonder if such an unlikely group would be friends if they weren't for the fact they work together. Honestly, I don't even know if I consider anyone here a friend. I consider everyone here a coworker, associate. I don't have the luxury of friends. You know, Finn isn't terrible company. I'd argue I enjoy his I allow him to ramble on about his aquatic interests, and in return, I get to go on about my train interests. It's the perfect trade-off. I've got some time to chat. You know of Astro, that tune is always sleeping around in the oddest of places. Once I found him even sleeping on one of the many trains here in Garden View. I'm unsure how long he'd been there if I hadn't woken. I've actually chatted with Sprout, since I supply fresh food here. There's a train that leads outside of Garden View itself. I ensure supplies end up here. Of course, no other tune is allowed on this specific train. You wouldn't imagine the things I have to do to ensure we get a few luxuries. Between you and me, I think Cosmo's baking is better compared to Sprout's baking, which is shocking because I believe Cosmo has burned more batches of baked goods. But oh, when that sweet food isn't burnt, it's delectable. I can't even fathom how anyone can pass by Gigi's room and not be concerned. I swear every time I pass by, there's just more things. How many things can one have? How many collections warrant such? Tegan once requested to host one of our iconic tea parties on the train. Sadly, I couldn't allow that, but imagine the atmosphere. That's the best place for a tea, aboard a train. Anything's better than a train, actually, except snakes. Buxton's been up late at night recently. He tells me he can't sleep when I ask him of it. I wonder if a music box ever needs his own music box to sleep. Pfft, what an idea! You know what? I'll admit something. I'm concerned for Glisten. The amount of times I've seen that mirror bump into things. Well, it's concerned to say the least. I asked him if he was clumsy, perchance. He, of course, went on the tone he uses. No, no. I'm Glisten. I'm perfect, not clumsy. I can see through that.